Hi, I'm Jeff Stokes. Welcome to Jeff's Daily Dose of Encouragement. Today I want to encourage you about the rapture. What we call the rapture, some people call the catching away, the meeting of the Lord in the air, that sort of thing, is something that Paul wrote to the Thessalonians to encourage them. And it says this from chapter 4, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and verse 13 down to 18. It says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep," which means those that are dead, "that you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words." And the comfort really of those words is that, especially if you have lost a loved one that knows Jesus, and it might be fairly recent, maybe it's been a wee while. I lost a friend just over a year ago. The comfort is in these words is that when this rapture happens, they will be raised from the dead first if the Lord tarries. But if not, whatever happens, we will get to see them again. But they are, just because they've died, they're safe, they're okay. And we can be comforted, find comfort in that, in knowing that one day, as I said, we will be joined together with them again. So that's really my brief encouragement for you today. I live in I attend a congregation of people that's quite a lot of elderly folk. I suppose some people would esteem me as being elderly too, but anyway, yeah, we got quite an aged sort of congregation, and so people popping off as becomes a bit more of a regular occurrence, or can do over time, which we don't want. And you do miss them. You do miss those people, especially if you had a close relationship with them, or especially if it's a family member. So yeah, my encouragement for you today is that we are going to see them again, and they will be raised from the dead. I think if I read the Thessalonians right, there was lies going around that the resurrection had already happened and stuff like that at the time, and that's just not true. And we know even now it hasn't happened. So just take comfort in those words, that those which are asleep in Jesus will rise from the dead, and then we will be raised up with them if we're still on earth. But if not, we will be raised up first with them. God bless you. Have a great day.